What's up? I'm back with part 10. If you haven't watched part 1 through 9, uh, try to do that. If not, I understand because it's like 100 minutes right now. But if you're curious to know more about what in the world I'm talking about, then you can do that. You can split it up and make it like a whole week or something. I don't know. Anyways, so he had got shot, and I knew there was something shady going on with it. We hadn't been talking. We hadn't been beyond, my letters. He wasn't writing me or nothing like that. And like the last words he had spoke to me were, "Fuck you, I hate you," And I actually found out not because his family called me or anything, but because my uncle seen his house on the news and was like, "Yo, that's his house on the news," and woke me up, and like we went to the hospital the next day. Like I was holding his hand. His present girlfriend was there, which was his sister's friend, and I was holding his hand, and I really like felt like I was supposed to be there. You know what I mean? I had known him since I was 5, and she had this little attitude or whatever, like, "You're not even his girlfriend." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm carrying his child, and this is my best friend. I don't give I don't care what in the fuck you're talking about. Like, I don't care. You ain't shit. You've known him for 4 months. I've known him practically his whole life." You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we got into it like at the hospital to the point where his mom's was, she made her leave like and go into the waiting room, which to me was where she belonged. Like she was all happy and giddy, and her and her sister. And I know people deal with traumatic situations differently, but to me, if my brother's in the hospital, I'm not gonna be all happy and giddy and in fucking la la land. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be tore up. Like, and I guess that's just me though. Like seriously. So I was really like put off by that whole situation. Me and his sister like really didn't weren't like really cool after that. We wasn't cool anyways because she brought over. And I know it wasn't her fault, but we just really wasn't cool anyways ever. So anyways, like I had ended up staying until like 3 in the morning or whatever. They did the brain scan because he had got shot in his head, and they told us that there was like a 5% chance that he would live. But in my heart of hearts, I was hoping that he would just survive, just so our child could get to know him, so he could at least, get to hold her, so he could at least, feel, know her. And his mom told me like he had actually like broke down in her garage like a couple days before that and was just crying and telling her that he had fucked up everything and that I hated him and I was never going to talk to him again, and just he was in just like this bad place. And I had heard that he wanted to get out of the gang. He was trying to get out of the gang. So and not from his family did I hear that, but just from another mother who was the mother of the head member of the gang. I heard it from her, and I guess that didn't go very well. And me and his family actually, fell out because of that, because it happened so close to his house, and because they didn't say anything, and because just all this shadiness going on around it. I'm not going to put everything up here, just because it's not safe to do that, and I'm really not on it. Like, I have a life to live, seriously, and a child to raise, and I really don't give a flying fuck. Karma will get you. Seriously, I ain't gonna have to do nothing. Karma will get you. But the next day, my mom talked me into going back to my grandma's house because I had lived with her at this point, just for the simple fact that me and her husband did not get along. I was fighting and stuff, and I had a dream that I was gonna kill him because he put his hands on me, and then he pushed me, and that was why I had killed him in my dream. And so I was like, I gotta leave, or else I'm gonna, like, me and my mom will never be cool, because I'm gonna kill him. And I'm gonna go to jail, and I'm not gonna be able to raise his kid. And so I went back to my grandma's house, and I came back to the hospital the next day, and it was, I had gotten a chance to see him like for 5 minutes, and his head was like swollen up, and I just knew, like, I'm like, he's not there anymore, you know what I mean? Like, it was different the day before, like, he, like, even, you know, shot, they just said it was like nerve reactions or whatever, but he sat up and like squeezed my hand. Me and his mom was sitting across from each other, you know, one of us was holding one hand, the other of us was holding the other hand, and he just sat up and squeezed our hands, you know, and like, to me that was his way of saying, like, I love you and I'm sorry, but I have to go. And my dad came and told me that he was brain dead, and I just hit the floor. I just really fell. I really hit the floor, and it was so crazy. Living, no, I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was hanging out with his side of the family. You know, we was planning on doing some stuff after that, you know, before the funeral, and I went into labor like 3 days after that, and his entire family was in the waiting room. Like, I got like one of the major like suites that are probably reserved for like rich people to have my babies. Like, I had like a wraparound couch in my room, a table, a big old flat screen TV, you know, like, wow, you know, not like that compensated for anything, but just the simple fact that they would do that for me. The hospital, you know, they was hearing the stories, people in the waiting room were telling them there was like 50 to 60 people in the waiting room of his family and stuff, and you know, and it was a happy and a sad time, and like the most conflicting time of my life. Like, I didn't, you know, only lose my best friend, but I lost the father of my child, you know, and I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do at all. So I was working through that, and I stayed single for a long time after that, and I went out with a couple of guys, and it just, like, I just wasn't into it. Like, one guy, like, he thought I needed to meet some rich guy and do that whole thing, and I really, like, honestly didn't. I told him I didn't care. I don't care about money. I really don't. Like, I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I didn't want him. And then I got with some other guy, and he was like afraid of commitment and stuff like that, and I was just tired of chasing him, and not into it at all. So I mean, like, we were back and forth, and then, you know, I met this gay chick at school in my like junior year of high school, and I guess I'll tell you guys about that in part 10. Shit, there's part 10. I mean, part 11. This is part 10. I'm losing track of everything. So yeah, stay tuned if you want, and I'm gonna make my part 11, and hopefully this is gonna be the last part. I think this is gonna be the last part. So yeah.